Hey folks, GHondo here, and welcome back to Captain of Industry. This is episode 58. In the last episode, we took out the old waste burners and replaced them with a shiny incinerator plant, which basically just powers the chem plant to make its paper. So it's not, monumentally better, but at least we're getting some value out of this waste instead of just purely burning it for pollution. So that's pretty neat. We also started, as you can see by the vast number of upgrades here. Some of those are just pipes that were kind of incidental, but we researched a new blast furnace to cooler chain so that we're going to be able to use crushed rock, so we're researching a better crusher. Or excuse me, not crushed rock, crushed iron ore, crushed copper ore. So we'll start getting 16 out of every 12 instead of just 12 out of every 12, so that would be very cool. And of course I was working on my absolute vanity project, which does absolutely nothing except makes me feel good, so we're doing it. The idea being, of course, any trips across here will now be quicker and easier. But it does, of course, mean a lot of digging because there was this little hill here. But that's fine. That extra dirt is just getting this project going faster anyway, so it's totally worth it. So yeah, so you are caught up. Let's get going. We are, of course, going to be desperately out of parts while all these upgrades go. The blast furnaces themselves, we're taking 130 each, and I have several of them. And then, of course, like the cooled casters, one a few and what have you. So, yeah, we are going to be desperately low on parts for quite some time, but that's okay. They're all upgrades I want done anyway, so they're of value. Admittedly, I did upgrade this one first, and it will never get any value for it because the upgrade has nothing to do with scrap production. It's only for these to use crushed ores. So it was kind of pointless, but that's okay. Oh, is this actually rolling again? Oh, it is. Isn't that nice? For a while, we were forced to use the non-scrap maintenance because we just had too much copper. But now we're finally using some of that up. So that's very nice. Still good on it, but we are at least using some of it. So there we go. There is the crusher. Oh look, you use red parts, what a surprise. Okay, so it takes the same amount of time. I'm just using the slag here as the example, so you can see 20 seconds for 8 to do 8, so it's now same 20 seconds you can do 48 at a time, so it probably would be worthwhile actually to come down here where we have this mess anyway and rip these 3 out and replace them with one single one, right? Because this it takes a little bit more power. It takes as much power as 4 of them. And as many workers as 3. So the workers will be the same. But just basically having this thing doing so much more work. Having said that, it is absolutely enormous. They're not kidding when they say large. Yikes. But I kind of do want to do it. I think it'll be helpful. If nothing else, it'll let me get rid of all this horrible spaghetti of mess here. So okay, so you are the quartz crushed into sand. So yeah, let's having said that though, because I can't build it right away, that will mess up the production of sand, so maybe I'll have to wait on that. I'll come back to that one. For now, let's just queue up one to be out here somewhere. I suppose it doesn't terribly matter where. That's coal. I put down here it is. Yeah, a storage specifically for iron ore, and I probably should do the same for copper ore, but for now we'll just do it for copper, or excuse me, for iron. Oh, this is going to absolutely destroy traffic in this area. Oh, this is going to be a bad spot for this. I suppose if I put it down here as much as possible, they could kind of skirt around it. Or I tuck it right up against here, but that's going to block access to these off. Yeah, this building's just far too large. If I move this ramp to the left, a little bit anyway, that'll buy me a little bit more room over here. little bit, not much, but a little bit. It's still not quite enough. But yeah, I could put that right there. They can still drive around it. And in fact, if I ramp over something here, if a ramp will fit here, and it will, I could actually plumb in the iron. And that would be helpful. And then this crusher's only job is going to be iron, but it's going to be really, really good at it. Okay. So yeah, that's even more that's going to need attention. Take it then, that means you are done. Excellent. So we can get rid of that. Unassign everybody, reassign them back over here where they belong. Is that enough trucks already? Maybe? I'll give you one more, that's fine. And that means that my cobblestones here are ready to be finished. There we go. Beautiful. Yay, pointless vanity project. But also, yay, more excavation happening here to get at this iron. Well, we still can. Like I say, there's not a huge amount of it left, but well, I suppose I could dig up here a little bit. There's a bit more here. I would be concerned about breaking this, but I guess as long as we're careful, we could get this part. Maybe if I just say flatten... It's going to wreck this part here, though, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, this might collapse a little bit here, but that shouldn't matter. As long as it's nowhere near this, it shouldn't make any difference at all. Hopefully I can... Oh yeah, that's big enough. Yeah, so now, if some of you want to work over here, you can, or if you want us to stay over here, that's cool too, doesn't matter. Either way. You now can start digging into this little bit here. I don't think there's a huge amount there, but we might as well have it. I'm deliberately not researching, just so we don't burn even more parts when we already don't have very many. That would be the last thing I'd want to do. We are kind of low on workers. I might have to expand another one of these relatively soon. Do these blast furnaces take more people when they upgrade? Is that part of the problem? Oh, they sure do. You take 10 extra each. Okay, I'm going to have to put in more people as well. So that's even more red parts I don't have. So we'll just queue the one up. It'll get to it eventually. It's going to be a while. It's definitely going to be a while. Because I don't think there's really even anything I can do here to help. Because it's just, we need steel, right? And I don't think there was anybody that actually sold steel. I mean, I'll take a quick look through here. But I really don't ever remember seeing... Why do you keep defaulting over there? That's really annoying. I mean, there's more iron, so that's a good one, but it's not what I'm after right now. Please stop doing that. Again, there's ores, but... Well, I can't get them anyway, I don't have servers, but... Yeah, I don't think anybody I know will do it. I don't even think any of them would give me even just the iron directly either, so... I mean, I guess I could get some iron scraps. They at least process in the other machine, so alright, let's grab a couple of those. It's not going to make a huge difference, but we might as well have them. That'll take some of the pressure off the iron, which maybe in turn will ever so slightly help the steel in a very, very indirect manner. But otherwise, yeah, I think at this point we're kind of just hanging out and waiting for stuff to build, so I think I'm just going to skip ahead until something happens. So I'll pause here. Okay, we are back. Not everything has been upgraded yet, although quite a few have. In particular though, this blast furnace did get upgraded. And what I noticed is it no longer supports the non-crush version. This is the copper furnace. It no longer supports the non-crushed version. So copper production would technically completely halt until I get a crusher going. I didn't actually notice that over here. Now in this one's case it didn't actually matter because this one only ever does scrap and that's not affected, but yeah, when these are upgraded they lose recipes, which doesn't make a lot of sense and frankly is really not good. So either way though, I'm definitely going to need another crusher for the copper. I don't know if I have a bin for copper ore. I should have one, but I don't know if I actually do. And if I do, I don't know where it is. And I don't know if I want to use the same crusher for both of them, because that might be... they might interfere with each other, so I think I'm going to have to just put in a second crusher. I might even want to just put in a... well, no, we have a lot of copper on hand, it'll be alright, but... yeah, that's really not great. I definitely don't have any room over there, so I think I'm just going to kind of plunk it over here and let it just everything be trucked to it. Not that this is a real good spot for it either, but at least it won't be in the way here. Yep, you are going to have to do copper for me. And everything will be by truck. Yeah, so that was quite interesting. Because I was sitting here watching, you know, every once in a while, and not very often, but every once in a while, one of the little green arrows would disappear, and, you know, things were moving. And then I would happen to notice that a lot of them were coming to that one furnace, so I thought, okay, well, I'll just watch that, because it's, you know, almost done. And that's when I noticed the recipes all changed, and that was not good. Distinctly not good. And actually, speaking of, since we already have the copper scrap furnace over there, this one never really should do scrap, right? So we might as well take that stuff out. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like the caster 2s have any recipe changes, of course. They are still be fine, but yeah, that was quite the unexpected and unpleasant surprise. Oh, I did have a copper ore bin right there. Okay, in that case, you get to turn into a copper crushed one instead. And yeah, they'll just have to truck stuff in between it. It's not ideal, but it's going to have to happen. Okay. Not ideal, but anyway. Which I guess also means the iron caster right now, like the iron blast furnace, wherever it went. Yeah, that's you. Okay, so you are currently being trucked in anyway, so that there's no effect in terms of storages. Okay. And what about the steel ones? No, they are also just trucked in. Okay, so it was just the one that would have got messed up. No, you just have nowhere to send it. Okay, that's fine. Well, if you want me to spend some wood, why don't I spend some wood buying something useful? I think somebody... you, right? Yeah, you would buy it. Let me just buy some iron scrap for it, and that would be totally helpful. There you go, congratulations. Yeah, seem to be getting a little bit light on mechanical parts again. That was iron kind of slowed right down, yeah. Maybe you should be bumped up a bit to make sure it's very clear that any iron we do make comes here first. What I do know though is these have to Actually, I guess here it's less important. These have to be the priority ones, because otherwise production will stop. How's things doing up here? Oh, we're getting there. Looks like this edge is done, at least on this corner. Very good. We're already all the way up here. So you can see we've done about half of that side, and well, about 3/4 overall, I'd say. Yeah, we're already at a point where we could place this. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to put 2 of them in here, or if I'm only ever going to get 1, but I don't see any reason why we can't just go ahead and place this. If it'll actually let me. Maybe it's still not quite done here yet. I thought I saw a square that... Oh yeah, I did. Right there. Perfect. Boom. Congratulations. Now, that actual iron ore contract, whose was that? It was you, right? Yeah, so we're going to want 3 iron ores and 1 vehicle parts 2. So I need to know what kind those are. I think it'd be easier actually if I just look in storage. Okay, so the vehicle parts are solid storage, and the iron ore is loose. Okay, so I need 3 loose and 1 solid. Three loose and 1 solid. And we already had that boat that we found and repaired, so it's been sitting there waiting for a very, very, very long time. Alright, so since we're talking about storage, we may as well... I don't think we need jumbo storage, I think sane storage will be fine. At least for the solid one. Maybe the loose one can be jumbo. Okay, so... You lot are going to get stuck if you stay there. So why don't you come out here? No, you're already stuck. Okay. Good job. There were a lot of them, sire. Right, I need to actually sign the contract first, right? That would be helpful. So now I should be allowed to assign. Yes. Bang. Perfect. Okay. So explicitly clear you are iron ore, and explicitly clear you are vehicle 2s. You can bring stuff in, you should never take it out. You should be never bringing stuff here. That should all come from here, but you can absolutely truck stuff out. Perfect. And you have already helpfully signed them for me. Thank you so much. Very good. Yeah, we are absolutely just decimated on red parts. We're also like completely out of, because we're basically out of iron. Okay, let's get some iron scrap in, just as a temporary measure. Who had the iron scraps? I don't want iron ore, I want iron scraps. It was you. Okay. think you were the only one that had them, right? Certainly the only one I remember. Yeah, okay. Because we cannot run out of mechanical parts. That will just not go well. Yeah, this has to happen, guys. Are we getting there? Not really. Yeah, because we're completely at iron. Okay. Sorry, New Forest, but you got work to do. We desperately need iron flowing. And that means this has to happen. Okay, you're back up, and you're back up. Okay. So for however long that lasts, hopefully that's enough to get that going. If not, I'll have to shell out many more trees. But yes, they are definitely bringing them here. Very good. Okay. Electronics are not looking good again because we're out of iron. Actually, we have a lot of electronics. It just has to migrate over here, so that's fine. Steel itself is fine, so it's purely an iron thing now. And we're finally getting that going, so okay, I think we're gonna be okay. I'll feel a lot better once this is up and I see actual iron flow, but because I can't imagine anyone would actually sell me white parts directly. I know they'll buy, like, I could give them white parts in lots of places, but I don't imagine anyone actually gives me white parts just to make it quicker. Probably not, right? No, almost certainly not. I don't even know why I'm looking, getting my hopes up. That's where you just oil them. Yeah, no, definitely not. Okay. That's fine. Unfortunate, but it's fine. I suppose what I could do is I could just cancel one of these ones that's partially done, just to free up the parts that should immediately run over. In fact, I'm going to do that. That should work, right? If I just cancel this upgrade, then all those parts should become available, and they should flow down here immediately. Then I can just re-enable this once they're gone, right? And yeah, okay, that's very clever. I like that. Yes, you're now receiving iron ore, hopefully crushing it. And yeah, it's going to have to get trucked, but that's totally fine. Right, because they got done, but they have to be told that they're allowed to do these. Okay. I still want scraps to go first, but now they should be allowed to have these. And by now we should have some crushed ores. Probably. Yes, there we go. I'm just gotta get some limestone up here and then we're all set. Is that just taking a long time, or is this... Are you about to tell me... Oh, okay, it was just taking a long time. So to say, are you about to tell me I don't have any limestone even though I thought I had lots? There we go. So now, we'll start getting an extra 25%. That will be... Actually, I guess it's 33%, but either way, we're going to get 4 more on every pass. So our iron will last longer. But now I do want to check. We do have a lot of limestone, right? Are we trucking that in, or are we just digging it? I think we're just digging it, actually. Oh yeah, from this gigantic bit here. Right. They will eventually dig through. Okay, yeah, we have absolute stacks of limestone available. Okay, so I'm not even remotely worried about that. Okay. You're going to be the copper one. We're still fine for copper, so this can just kind of go whenever. That's fine. I probably need this to happen next. Because we're not going to have enough people to run these machine upgrades anyway, so it's got to be next. And then after that, I guess the order doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, I'll just have to remember to come in and check these once they are done, to make sure they're actually running. One more singular one. That's all you gotta do. Just one. Bring me one singular part, please. Somebody? Anybody? We have them. I just saw that move, so we have them. I need flying vehicles. Everything would go so much faster if they could just float over here instead of having to navigate through all the mess I've made. Because it can't possibly be my fault for making such a messy base, right? That I wouldn't believe. We are out of ore. So no, we're not. There you go. Okay. Now that means we're probably not going to have enough household goods, so our unity is not going to be going up quite as fast, but that's a minor concern. There we go. So that'll get us an extra 100 people. I'll just let them... Should I beacon them in? No, I'll just let them grow naturally. We're not even remotely urgent for them. As long as they're growing, they'll be fine. So we basically need, okay, these are 45 each, so that's 180. And then the storage afterwards, just for convenience, but I wonder if maybe I should put these as higher priority. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, there's just so much to do and it all has to just kind of go whenever. Alright, well I think we're going to leave things there for today, so thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and a comment. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe, it really does help. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one. See ya.